Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back over here at Revs Fitness, and today we are talking about the pull-up. And even if you can't do one pull-up now, we're going to show you guys a progression you guys can use so you'll be eventually able to do a pull-up, because pull-ups are a very difficult exercise to do.
Yeah.
It's probably the toughest upper body exercise to do, is pull your own body weight up.
A lot of people can't do it.
Against the force of gravity, right. And I think a lot of people just try to jump up to the bar and they just give up.
Yeah.
They don't have the scapular strength because they don't do enough pulling. We were talking about this a little bit before we started filming about how people have a lot of strength in the upper body, but it doesn't match. It's not equal distribution between the front and the backside. And that's a big problem, especially for your shoulders. You can have shoulder problems.
If you use your arms too much, you're not using your back or whatever.
Right, pulling with your back. We talked about that on a separate video about how to activate your lats and everything like that. But today we're going to show you guys a progression you can use to get that strength build up so you can do some pull-ups, maybe 5, 10, who knows, maybe even 15. And so we started off, and you should start off with a very basic exercise, the inverted row, right? I mean, we did it, this was a very beginner type of exercise, using my feet, my knees were bent and my feet were flat on the ground, kind of using myself as a self spot, but it's a way to kind of get that scapular strength, because even though it's not a vertical movement, you know, it's more of a horizontal, but you're rowing, not so much doing it. It's an easier pull. You're not fighting gravity as much.
Yeah. It'd be something you could do at home.
You can, yes. A lot of home exercises have it where you have the 2 chairs set up with a bar in between. So you don't have to use a Smith machine like I was doing. So you can do it that way.
Extra thin bar, extra thin broomstick, you just snap it.
Yeah, you can see that coming. So get something sturdy, guys. We don't want you getting injured here. And then you can progress on that same inverted row by just moving your legs out. So now you have a little bit longer length that you're providing. You're not shortening the length of the legs as much.
Create more resistance.
And you're creating a little bit more resistance.
You don't even have to change the move at all.
No, not at all. Not at all. And then a lat pull down. You did that, and that was a good way to activate a vertical pulling movement now, but you're still using not the demand is not there, I guess, as much as it is in a regular pull-up.
It's a good way to progress because it's the same kind of same move almost.
Right.
You're just pulling down. You're not pulling your body up towards your what you're working on. So.
Right. Yeah. But when you're ready for that, then you can progress to the next step. And that's a band assisted. So you're adding this counterweight essentially. You're reducing some of your own body weight and still going to that vertical pull now. As you see here, we're kind of keeping a common distance in our hands. We're not going too wide today. We're going about shoulder width, maybe slightly out beyond. We'll make a separate video on as far as how different grip widths, you know, and also we'll talk about the chin up, which is a whole other video, the difference between a chin up and a pull up. Today we're talking about the pull up. But you can work different areas of both your arms, your back, and even your forearms, depending upon the distance of your grip. But today, standard shoulder width or slightly beyond.
Which would tap into your lats, your upper back, and pretty much everything.
So
if you go too wide, then you won't be touching into the lats as much as you would the upper back or whatever.
Right, exactly. Okay, so then we moved on to you, and you were doing the pull-up. No help at all, no band or anything. So what was the feel on that?
It was a little different. It's a lot heavier, obviously. You get a lot more pull. It's actually, in my opinion, when you add more resistance, it's easier to pull with the muscle, the primary muscle that you're using. If that makes sense. Unless you're just like an arm person where you're like still using your back.
You're not pulling back.
It's a lot more difficult depending on like how you can cross your feet, stick them out like you're doing with the band or whatever. But you are using body weight, so it's different based on your strength versus your body weight.
And if you lower your body fat percentage, that's going to be a lot better. Because I mean, I've seen a lot of big dudes, and they can do a lot of pull-ups. And you should be able to do a lot of pull-ups. Even if you're big, pound for pound, you should be able to pull that much weight. So it's not just an exercise where skinny people should be able to do a lot of exercises. Big guys 250, 300 pounds, I've seen do a lot of pull-ups because they have that development in their upper back, in their scapular muscles and all that. And you should have that. That's your goal, is to work up to that.
There's guys that hang sandbags around their waist. I guess from prison. But I guess they can pretty much do pull-ups all day with like an extra 60 to 90 pounds. That's pretty good.
That's very good. Well, I've never been in prison, and I wasn't pulling 70 or 90 pounds, but I did in this final advanced version, I did add 25 pounds. And adding that little bit of resistance after you progress all the way up where you can do your own body weight, and you still need a little bit of challenge, now you add on that little extra resistance, 25 pounds. You can add as much weight as you want, but you want to make sure you keep good form, you don't swing. You're making sure you're pulling with your back, initiating with the muscles of your back. And we'll probably make an additional video or two on how to do some supplemental exercises like the scap pulls and different types of things like that, so you guys can develop those muscles. So when you go to do a pull-up, it's just that much. You're that much more prepared.
Yeah.
And one other technique, I'm just going to throw this in here real quick, that we did is working on eccentrics, because you're always going to be stronger on the eccentric than you're going to be on the concentric. We've talked about that lots of times, but it's really it holds true even in this exercise, because if you're working on the eccentric, you're going to develop that slow kind of deceleration that you're having and you're going to work the muscle differently than you're doing on just a standard pull-up. So that's what I was doing when I was stepping up on the box, getting myself in position, then just lowering myself down as much as I can. And you can do that and just build up. So that's another way to increase your strength.
It'll be a way to enjoy pull-ups if you can't do them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just another progression technique. Pull-up is the king. It's been called the king of all upper body exercises for a reason, because it is very difficult and it works everything on, from the waist up. Your core, everything.
They do have those assisted machines in the public gyms.
Yeah, they do.
I've never really used one of those, but that could be something that could be used as well instead of a band, I guess.
Right. If you don't have a band, that's
the
way.
That's really something that I kind of steer away from, because the machine's kind of doing more of the work for you, and it's easier to put more weight on, so it can push you up easier. Where you're just like, that was kind of tough. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, people kind of can take advantage of that and not really challenge themselves on that. But do pull-ups. You guys work on it. If you can't do a pull-up now, start with some of these basic moves, work up, and I think you're going to see good things happen over time. So, anything else?
No, that was actually pretty good.
That was not a bad.
Yeah, it'd be like reading an article written by like some kind of physician or something that writes for one of those fitness magazines.
Yeah, well, that's what we aspire to be someday. So, hope you guys have a great week. Give us a try. Make sure you guys continue to train hard. Hopefully your 2021, God, I still want to say 2020. Don't want to say 2020. Hopefully your 2021 is going good as we move through the month of January. Continue on, stay healthy and happy, and we will see you very soon. Take care.